Hi, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here. This is just a short video as an introduction to my new style, my new podcast. This is an introduction to my October readings, because many of you were of two minds asking me, well, we like to see the video because we like to see the cards. And those of you who wrote in saying that the podcast, you preferred the podcast, said, well, it really makes me listen more carefully. And I have to say, I too am of two minds, because I do like to show the cards. I really do. But I can't deny that I really have a strong sense of connection when I turn off the video and when I use my voice and just listen. So in this intro, well, first of all, let me show you this. I'm doing this because a colleague of mine, well, a friend of mine said, oh, that warlock, that marionette, it just is the creepiest thing, but it's harmless. It's a true marionette. And I just wanted to show it to you so you don't get freaked out by it. This was, it's a handmade marionette, and I got this at the airport. You know how you're waiting on to board, and right next into the corner there was a shop that had all handmade marionettes, and it was so cute. Look at that hat. Look at that hat. So cute, so cute. And so, I just brought it here to make you see with me, so just relax. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to show you the deck of cards that I'll be using. So when I call on you and ask you to, even though I do them in a pre-recorded way, I'm going to channel and listen to the energies that I get from each individual sign. So let me first tell you that I'll be using the runes. I'll be starting with the runes casting. And I'll be using these tiger eyes runes because you can see them. The etching is fairly clear, and for me to see, when I usually read, it's usually dark, and so I like to be able to see them. And I'll be using those first. You'll hear them in the podcast. Then I have three different decks to use. The first is the Voodoo Tarot deck that I've used before. You've known that. This is the 14th Major Arcana, we can call that. Thibonage, the 20th Major Arcana, the Ancestors, just to give you a few. 0, the World Egg, and so on. Then we have a Santeria 2 card, Olofi, just to give you a few of the cards, just to give you an idea, but you know these more than the other two decks. And the next deck is the Tarot of Muja, de la Muja, who is an artist. And just to give you an idea of what they look like, this is the 11th card. What could that be? Justice. You can see that, maybe the 11th Major Arcana, that's Justice. This is who do we have here? The Emperor. Oops, the Emperor. Here we have the Hermit. Lovely cards, lovely cards. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me put these away and show you another deck, which is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And I've used this twice, 2 other times. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the version of the 9 of Cups. Whoa, the foot of my marionette has fallen. This is the High Priestess. High Priestess. This is the Magician. Let me see if I could get it better. Oh, the closer, the farther away I get it from the light, there it is, the better it is. And this is our Knight of Swords. Get a load of that, our Knight of Swords. There you are. Okay, so, but another reason why I wanted to give an introduction is that I wanted to thank a colleague, a fellow reader, for having sent me a person to work with. Thank you, Lou, Louisiana Lou. Why am I thanking her? The main reason is that it gave me the opportunity to fine-tune what I was doing. It was a particular case, and it made me able to speak about it and to give you, my experience with this person and to tell you how I work. So I thought it would clarify a lot of things. So in short, the person was looking for initially a black witch or a warlock, someone who could fight fire with fire in terms of black magic. Now, well, this is an expression in English, fight fire with fire, get the same intensity, because he felt that he was an object of black magic. Now, the person was looking for that, but then he came to me and I asked him to tell me what the story was about. And I was taking notes, and he told me that for decades he has been targeted with black magic. And I wanted, in some way, I invited him for a consultation, okay, to understand. And he prefaced the introduction of this whole story with a series of admonishments, of warnings, telling me that he had been to many other people before me, and none of them wanted to work with him because each one individually had suffered some kind of flash of negative energy towards them directly. One was threatened, her life was threatened, another fell ill with a serious illness for an extremely long time. And I let him talk. Like I said, I took notes, I asked my questions, and then I explained to him how I worked. Now, what I will explain to you is my form of white magic. Okay, we could call it white magic, but I just want to say that we can change the words around. It's all the same, just like any field, physics, linguistics. People have, and groups of people that work together have different ways of calling things, and in different countries they call the same phenomenon with another lexical item, all right? So, but what I want to say is that this is a form of white magic. It's a service that I provide and that I've listed on my website. First and foremost, I told him my diagnosis, that what he was experiencing was only one of many, far many other more serious blocks and restrictions that could be ailing him. And I started asking him a number of questions, but then I hit him with the fundamental question. What is your intention? What do you want to achieve by coming to me? And what he said was this: I want two things. One, I want to unmask the largest pedophile ring in the Northern Hemisphere. And two, I want to be able to receive adequate medical care, because in his country, in Ireland, he was negated that for several different reasons. Okay, I won't go into the political side to it now. And with that, having heard that, with those objectives, it put me in a position of being able to then do my magic, eliminating any negative influences on him, stopping him from achieving those goals. How? I was able to cut bonds, contracts, curses, and remove curses and vows, spells, anything, you name it, that were affecting him directly. The list is endless. Affecting him directly, and as a consequence, it would block the negative energy affecting him, and it would not target but contain those people, he listed names, first and last names, that were manipulating him throughout the decades. These people represent members of the clergy, solicitors, barristers, and politicians in that country. Now, one important thing is that there was no fear. I never, ever operate with fear. If I have to be fearful, I just say no. It's not a moment when I can work. The process was reversed, is reversed, because their initial energetic dealings and workings, or if we want to call it magic, were halted But we had, of course, this person who was in a wheelchair, who was dying, and ultimately was powerless, disempowered completely. And one thing then leads to another, and you get the press, you get someone to help you out, physicians to, okay, so it's a series of things that then change. Now, this is just to give you an idea of what how I work. Fundamental is not, and this is a suggestion for all other readers, all other energy workers, light workers, never work if you are fearful. And there's something that when someone comes to me, and I have seen a lot of different cases, okay? When I decide if I can work with you, and this is determined by a series of parameters linked to the nature of your soul, I never have to decide if I'm conditioned by fear or any other, or because it will create repercussions. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to say that. And thanks again, Lou. I appreciate that. Now off to the readings. Bye-bye. Hi Virgo, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm using a video style because my my audio program crashed, and so that's one of the glitches that has happened, and I'll revert to this until I get that fixed, because it's not interacting with my new Mac platform or something like that. So let me start with the runes casting for you for the month of October. Busy, 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 busy. Lots of talk, lots of talk. You're going to consider whether you want, right, there's a time here, there are 1, 2, 3 different conversations. And what I'm seeing is that you're on a mission abundance. You want to make more money. It's as if this is the first sign that I've seen that as a overriding goal. Okay, now this is, okay, then that's that. This is the basic thing here. But there's more in store for you, because it seems that you want to distinguish yourself in what you do. That's an underlying desire for you as well, and you'll be thinking about that. But there's sort of like, the little gerbil inside the windmill going around and around and around and around and not going anywhere fast. But it has to do with the relationship. This could be a business relationship. This also could be a partnership, or both, that has affected you greatly. And in terms even of who you are, who I am, and what the runes are saying is that you would do very well to distinguish yourself in your business, in your livelihood, on the job, because that ultimately is going to lead you to success. Do something no one else does. Do it your way. I've got weird right in the center of these conversations. Do something that smacks of you, something that no one else knows how to do, something that you only can offer. That's where your success lies. And that's fundamental, Thurisatz tells us, fundamental to distinguishing you, and also putting up boundaries between you and other people, because they will know that you're good for that. Oh, she does that, and she does that, and and that's the measure of success. That's where success will come from. But I won't deny that there is your world was rocked because of 2 different occasions here, 2 different things. There's one in either in a business field or in something that occurred in with respect to your job, and something on a more romantic level, on a more emotional level, on a one-to-one. Both of them were one-to-one, but that has caused you difficulty, and you feel stuck because of that. But let's take heed of what these runes are saying. Let's distinguish ourselves for what we are best at. Now, you take a minute and think about these 3 different decks: the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, the Sexual Magic Tarot, and the Muha Tarot, the artist, and see which one I should use. I'm getting the sexual magic. Okay. Now, let's see. Let me shuffle these. Okay, we have a number of interesting cards here and a number of major arcana. There's one, two, three, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana. No, wait. I'm going blind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 8 cards. I mean, there's something important going on. This, for you, similar to there were 2 other signs I did say, this is the most important month of the year for you. In terms of your personal growth, you're coming full circle here. This lovely sun, last card down, you can't go wrong. And that's right next to Soilo, actually, right next to Soilo and Awats, the protective rune here. Look, I see that you have a front row seat. You have a prominent position in what you're doing. You're taking yourself very seriously, almost too seriously. And on the one hand, you want to be the seer, the seer, the archetype, the seer, who is able to see, but on the other hand, you need not to lose contact with worldly pleasures because it will be the death of you. It will literally be the death of you. Now, there is something here to say about a couple, all right? There is a couple here, and it's their contrast. There's contrast here in the couple. I mean, there is one party that has several partnerships, and there's the other party that has no one. And it depends on your personal situation what position you are on the receiving end, the acting end, but there is definitely an imbalance in a relationship. This is very clear. And a lot of passion, however. You really want to, as runes mentioned about your work, they mentioned that you really want to make it big financially. You want to draw abundance to you. You want it with a passion, but there's the energy that's spent in this endeavor is covering up the windmills of your mind, that gerbil that I talked about in this cage, because it's over and over. You're revisiting a process over and over again. You're revisiting something that just didn't sit right with you over and over again, and to a fault, On the one hand, you are supercharged with the idea of making abundance. This is, without a doubt, the first thing out. On the other hand, you're awake. Every minute of your waking hour concerns something that you want to hide away. But you're so passionate about it. I mean, of all of the signs, I find that you are the one who wants it most. You want the sex most, you know? It seems that you really, really need an exchange in bed. You need an exchange with, you have to get it out of your system, okay? You're going to burst, all right? October is going to be the month where you make it or break it. You either leave it alone, you let that rest, you stop that windmill, or you don't. And it'll make you sick. It will literally make you sick. But we have the sun right on top. We have the sun, and this is your guiding light. Not only the windmills of your mind stop just when you start talking about going into a more spiritual dimension, in a different plane, a non-third dimensional plane. That's where you find respite. And I can't say that enough. It seems that the sun shines there where those other issues that are seem to be burdening you are not. They just don't exist. They don't exist. I'm going to take the Sibilla here and illuminate some of these cards and take a look at what they're trying to tell us. Okay, this is over the devil that I have. I have this, look at this phallic symbol, this devil. I have disastro, disgrazia, which is the disaster, vecchia signora, and omaggio. Now, of course, this comes from, if we want to read it this way, from the past, a situation that has been burdening your mind more than anything else. You're going to be able to get rid of that. You're going to be able at least to put it at rest, there at rest. And of course, the sun speaks volumes about that. Let me take a look at, there are two aces here, Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. I want to take both of those now. Let's take the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, yeah, okay. Yes, all right. We have this malinconia in the middle, this nostalgia here, and vanity, superbia, and it hit you hard. But there's this gran consolazione, and the gran consolazione here is made up of your livelihood. That's where you're going to get respite, and that's probably why you're so centered on the abundance factor, because you really need it. You need it for more, in more ways than one. It serves more than the purpose of paying your bills. It's far more valuable for you, to you, in alleviating other thoughts that are bogging you down. I'm going to go here to this Emperor. Okay, we have the leggerezza, lightness here, and donna di servizio and allegria. All right, it's undoubted. I spoke of two parties. Well, the party that has abundance, the party in a romantic sense, the one who is the emperor, really, who is a little easier going in terms of interacting on a one-to-one basis. One night stands, go, you know, just no problem with that, is the party of the two that is having an easier time dealing with any issue that may have been plaguing both of them together or separately. I'm going to go to the our high priestess here. Okay, we have sospiri, sighing, and stanza, the room. This is intimacy, intimate communication, incoming news coming in, an amante, a lover. Now, this speaks for itself, and I can't deny there's a person coming in for you. There's a person coming in for you that you do not know, all right? This is someone new for you, someone new, so hang on, because that ship is coming in that Sospiri card. It's a person who you're going to meet, a new person. Temperance, I'm going to the top and seeing what temperance talks to us about. Okay, jealousy, constance, and lettera. All right, temperance is there to tell you, let's put matters on hold. Let's just turn the situation upside down and communicate on a different level in your mind. If you're not out and out communicating with someone else, communicate on a different level, you with yourself. Get rid of those windmills of your mind and temper them, that literally temper them, put them at rest. I hope this was of help to you, Virgo, and for the month of October. And do come and join me, follow me on Twitter. My name was there. I broadcast live at least once a day, and it's every day is different because sometimes I get a number of people, sometimes I get no one, then I leave. But it's a new method to my madness. It's a new means of communication. It's helpful because I can read your chat in real time, and I can respond with my voice. I can't write. I won't be answering you in writing in Twitter. So please be mindful of that. So until we read together again, bye-bye, Virgo.